So we're here in Northwest Spokane, right off Northwest Boulevard. This used to be a vacant lot, and in 2017, Transitions built 24 cottages. And really, when it first started, all we heard about was neighbors being concerned. But now all we hear about is how these 24 houses are housing family members of the same community. And that's one of the things we need to realize, that we're all part of the same community here in Spokane. Fran, thanks for talking to me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Ben.
So tell me, do you live in the neighborhood?
Yes, I do. I'm part of the Audubon Downriver Neighborhood Council, and we've been involved with this project since inception, which is a good thing.
So what were some of the concerns, or what did you hear when they first started building the project?
Oh gosh, it was amazing. They're going to have crime and traffic and et cetera, et cetera. It's just going to ruin the look of the neighborhood. They didn't know what it was going to look like. And I have to hand it to Edie Rice Sawyer and Transitions for bringing the neighborhood council folks at the table from the very beginning. It was from the very beginning they started talking with us, kind of told us what the plan was. We had community meetings. It took a while to kind of get the neighbors calmed down, but once they started seeing the architecture and how it would fit into the neighborhood and a lot of the safeguards and how the programs are structured, it took some time, but people eventually accepted it really well.
So what was this before it was the 24 cottages?
Oh, and that was one of the concerns. It was a 2-acre piece of land. It was a park, and so the neighbors considered it their neighborhood park, even though the land was owned by Transitions, perhaps the sisters before that. But they considered it their own and treated it like their own. In fact, there was a community garden here, and so people were really upset when they said they're taking away our park, even though it wasn't theirs, because it was private property. And what are we doing? What about this community garden that we've put all this labor into? So that was another big issue.
So this neighborhood, it looks like it was built in the 1950s, historical neighborhood.
Actually, there's many turn-of-the-century homes here, and then 1920s bungalows, craftsman bungalows, and then some post-World War II houses. So it's a mix.
So it's a middle-class neighborhood.
Exactly, working class.
Working class neighborhood.
Definitely, and retirees.
So this is a low-income housing project. Was there concerns with low-income people moving into the neighborhood?
Yes, there were. They just didn't know what that would look like in terms of what people they would be bringing, what associates they'd be bringing in. People thought there would be questionable characters moving in and their friends, traffic, increased crime in terms of home burglaries and so forth. They were upset about the garden being taken away, about their park being taken away.
So since they've opened in 2 years ago, has it become integrated with the neighborhood?
Absolutely. The neighborhood council has had no complaints at all. They just seem very well integrated. In fact, we've had sock drives and underwear drives. They're our neighbors now. They've opened their community center for us if we wanted to use it, and we used some CDBG money to relocate the community garden. So the community garden's still here, it's just in a different location, and the CDBG money paid for the infrastructure, the plumbing and so forth. So they got their community garden back, and it's just the architecture fit in well with the neighborhood, so people are pleased. There's a community center and a playground for the kids.
So you could say that the cottages have become part of the community.
I would say so. We've even had a few people from the Homeyard cottages come to our neighborhood council meetings to kind of learn how to be citizens and become part of the neighborhood.
So one of the things we hear throughout Spokane is people don't want low-income people in their neighborhood, and that's called NIMBYism, which is not in my backyard. And I'm wondering if you have a different opinion after going through this process. Maybe it's a yes in my backyard.
Yes, I can understand the NIMBY mindset. I think it depends a lot on who's managing it, who's running it, who built it. It just makes to have a variety of people makes the neighborhood seem so much more comfortable for everyone, and really safer. It just gives an opportunity for people to learn how to be citizens, to learn how to take care of their own property, and just become, part of the community.
So overall, you would say it's been a positive experience having this the cottage development in your neighborhood?
I would say so. Yes, absolutely. It's just nice to be welcoming for everyone. And there's a lot of low income, this is not a high income neighborhood to begin with. So it actually kind of spruced it up, this part of the section right below the North Hill.
So one of the concerns we see is that people don't want other people in their neighborhoods. They want everything to stay the same. Do you think a project like this would work in other neighborhoods in Spokane?
I do think this is a project that would work in other neighborhoods. And I think a lot depends on where it's sited. As long as there's public transportation nearby, the kids are going to be able to be integrated into the local schools. The services are relatively convenient. And the traffic is controlled, and we've got the boulevard just a few blocks away. There's the bus line, so it really worked for us. It needs to be well thought out, there's no doubt about it, but it does work, especially if the architecture fits.
So when people worry about their neighborhoods and low-income housing being located there, they often think about Cabrini Green and other big, large structures, but as you can see behind me, there's a playground. This has a community building that integrates the community in. And really the goal is to integrate into the community. Everybody is part of the same community. We're all part of Spokane, and it's okay for people of different incomes to live in different neighborhoods.